Hello, everyone. Ohio gozaimasu. Welcome to Ohio Anime. My name is John, and welcome, Phil. How's it going? Irashaimase. I cannot hear you, Phil. This time, wait, is it my fault? It might be my fault.
Mike.
It's my fault. There you are. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. No. You're good. You're good. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you, John.
All right. And, Andrea was here. I think it's her chair. Oh, there she is. Yep. How's it going, Andrea? Andrea's still setting up.
I'm sure John didn't mute you.
Yeah. Well, so there's this thing that allows me to set which scenes everyone their camera shows up in and stuff.
Sure.
And I wish it would remember that because I had to change it every time. And then I would think it would mute you when you're not in the scene, the right one. So I just don't want it like someone's audio coming through during the countdown or the intro or something like that. Yeah. So for safety, extra safety, I mute people and then forget to unmute them. So
sure. No,
that's the kind of show we run around here. Tonight's going to be fun. We got Jujutsu Kaisen season 3 that's wrapped up. And that's what we're going to talk about. That's our big deal. So
okay.
Oh, there's Andrea.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Hello.
Just calming some crying babies who are tired, and everything's like deep level crisis. So
tell them to just get a grip.
That's basically what Chris is trying up there, and it's not going well. You'd think you would know better.
Anyway,
I'm
about having to because they're right on the other side of this wall for me.
Sure.
At some point, they've done really well so far with that, but
you don't want to be yelling out on the pod to wake them up.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. When we had our other setup, I had our office upstairs next to the girls, and it was just like, oh, this is a gamble, but mostly it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, we're here tonight. Thank you guys for making it work. We were going to do a show tomorrow, and then things just changed on my end where it'd work better for me to. I try so as much as it's nice to have another person here with the kids at the same time. I like to, if I can, podcast while Ashley's not here. So then, then when she is here, then we can watch a show together or something. That's how we.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Of course.
But anyways, tonight Jujutsu Kaisen. You guys been watching anything other than that?
I have, but I can let Andrew go first. Okay. Never mind.
Nope.
Nothing.
Ceded to you. Nothing.
Okay.
Okay, wait, though, and yes-ish, anime related. I started the first episode of the live action One Piece. Because I'm never going to start the animated version because there's just so much of it.
Yeah.
But they're redoing it. If I'm not mistaken, they're remaking One Piece, which is very odd to me. I don't know.
I'm guessing they're cutting out a ton of filler and updating the old episode animation and stuff. Kind of like they did with Ranma 1/2, probably.
Yeah,
which
I guess. I think
sure. But Ranma 1/2 was at least done.
It's done. Yeah. It's been done for a long time.
Right?
It's,
One Piece
a huge Ranma 1/2 purist.
I do still remember watching Ranma 1/2 at Anime Iowa in one of my I think either my first or second one. So it holds a special place in my heart because I thought it was so good.
It is very cute.
As I was going through my ramblings to myself, I think on my latest card unboxing talking about Star Wars, I think I brought this up on there. I'm not sure if I did or if I was rambling to myself off camera. But it was
so hard to keep track of your ramblings.
Hard,
Exactly. What I was going over, I promise this will come back to them. This will make sense. The there was, I think, a person responsible for controlling or something BB-8 in the sequel trilogy of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Was saying how in not too long in the future, the sequel trilogy will be viewed favorably like the prequel trilogy is now. And it's a fair assumption without looking at what I think is what I've always said with Star Wars is it's the execution problem in the prequels, not a plot problem. And that's what's more, what's a bigger deal. So like
I will agree with that.
In the sequels.
Yeah, so in the sequel trilogy, it's like it's well executed, it's well acted, it's gorgeous, it's all that. So there's some cool cinematography, but the plot is the problem.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fair.
So with anime, you can go back to stuff that's older, and a lot of people love it, even though some of the animation's not as clean or it's a little more janky or something like that. It's maybe the voice acting isn't even as good, whatever that sort of thing. But you fall in love with it because the characters and the story ring true and are a fun time. It's like the same as people getting into the CW superhero shows. Most people aren't going to argue that they're a super high quality in a lot of ways, but people like get invested in the drama that's occurring between these characters on screen. And so my point is like Ranma, maybe the older episodes or whatever aren't as crispy as the new ones, but sometimes that's part of the charm. And it's not, that's not, it can be. It's easy to say that's not a detriment in some ways. I was watching Freerun with Ashley and watching Freerun and her master walk down the steps. And I was like, that's not the cleanest animation. That shows S tier. But that's, if you compare that to, say, the latest Pixar movie, it's not the same kind of budget and time and smoothness and whatever that you'd have in that. But your decision on what's better isn't that minutia of the execution there. It's of like what's happening on screen, the conversation that's being had, the characters you're invested in. So sometimes these older things just don't need to be remade because they're already great. That's all. That's
fair. I get the impression, like, I don't know, I get what you're saying. I also think some of these shows that are remade, like, are able to maintain the charm, the nostalgia of the original, while also cutting out a fair amount of stuff that maybe wasn't absolutely necessary. I really loved Trigun Stampede. It was like a tighter retelling of Trigun, and then I did watch some of season 1 of their original Trigun, which is also very good, and I really liked it. But it took me like just so much longer to try to get into it, and I kind of stalled out on it. It was just there's so many episodes to try to get through, and unless I like have watched it before and I would just like have it on in the background and like kind of consume it that way, I don't think I'm going to sit and watch like 44 episodes over a couple of seasons.
I don't know if it's even that much. Like, because that's the cool thing with Well, there was a few series back in the day that kind of subgenre or whatever, I can think of off the top of my head, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, and Trigun. They're all basically like one full season.
Space Dandy.
Space Dandy, that was newer, but yes, yep. So,
so I hear what you're saying, but I still like. I think like Ranma 1/2 and like Trigun and some of these other shows are remaking. I think they're still. It seems like they stick pretty closely to the original. I think they cut out the parts that can be cut out.
Sure.
Like I
hope that if nothing else, I hope that something like that brings, more, like if someone had not previously discovered Ranma, now they go back and they try the other one. It'd be like Full Metal Alchemist. Those stand on their own because they are so different. They diverged paths early on. And so if someone watches the newer Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and they love it, I hope that they go back and watch Full Metal Alchemist, the original, and love that for what it is too. So
fair enough.
Or at least give it a shot.
But if Netflix is like, hey, we took all of One Piece and we condensed it down and kind of remastered it from 1,000 episodes to like 400 episodes, I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll I could probably give it a shot then.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's ultimately like up to the individual creator. Like if that was something that it's like, no, I want you to watch all 1,000 of them.
Sure.
Or if it gets you into my world and buying figures and t-shirts, Phil, then
Mm-hmm.
then
yeah. I mean, that's fine if they decide they don't want to, and they're like, my principles, I can't, I'm just going to leave it as this. It's fine. But then some people aren't going to watch it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to watch it.
And it's, in fairness, a lot of the stuff was made to be extended, that stretched that way. So there might be creators that are like, I'd rather it wasn't stretched out in that fashion. I wanted it to be a tighter thing, but we needed to hit the cap of 23, 26 episodes for a season, so we just had to balloon it that way.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening too.
Sure. And I think it's just different. I think it was like back in the day, it was like they do an episode, what they used to they used to be on like these different like cable channels, right? And you'd watch it on like Toonami.
Yeah, and still air. Yeah. Well, in Japan, it still will air. They'll make it once a week, new episode.
Sure. I think it's different now with like Crunchyroll, and I think seasons are just shorter. What's going on here?
Either Andrea is like bored with the conversation, or you have thoughts. Do you have thoughts on all this sort of
thanks for fighting
nostalgia remakes?
I just put the bomb out there, and then I'm just gonna.
She was her fault, yeah. Okay, so Andrew's watching One Piece. I have heard good things about the live action.
It is good. It is good so far.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
TBD on whether it will actually get me into the animated version. I mean, maybe it will.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you love it enough, right? That's the way it is for me. So if I love something, it's like I get in that mode and I want more of it.
I want it all.
I'm confident if I did watch it, like if I was like, I'm not going to watch anything else but One Piece, so just commit to that. I'm sure I would love it. I mean, I've heard from various people that it's excellent.
It's just, it is hard though. It's you really have to commit to it. Like I think about watching all 15 seasons of Supernatural. My God, that was like labor. It was so good. It really was. But you really just had to keep on it, because if you dropped off, my God, the thought of trying to go back and pick up where you left off and remember what was going on is just so overwhelming. So, it's not to say it is impossible, but sometimes it does feel less enjoyable when you know that there's so much to get through. Sometimes it can be harmful.
It shouldn't, right? It shouldn't, because it should be like, oh my God, there's tons of this thing that I love, or potentially would love. I think it's
if there's so much you're feeling like it's a chore.
But that's the problem. We're looking at shows and stuff as like we have to get through X, A, B, C, X, and whatever. You have to I have to keep a pace of the new stuff and keep up and whatever. And we didn't used to be that way. And otherwise,
because there wasn't so much choice of other things. It's I do want to watch other things too. So it is hard to sit down and be like, I'm just going to commit to one thing, knowing that there's so much out there that, I'd still like to watch.
Sure.
And honestly, it's doubly hard to watch a show with Chris because he has so much less time than I do. Sure. So it really was I have to set aside other things and prioritize this thing that we're watching together. And it felt overwhelming because, I knew that especially if he slid off that bandwagon, we weren't getting back on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we're doing really well keeping this episode real tight.
I know. I truly didn't mean it. I literally was just going to I'm watching One Piece. It's good so far. Yeah. TBD.
Well, the reason I was because I thought that potentially this, not that our Jujutsu Kaisen commentary would be short per se, but that I was just gonna open the floor for it and see what instead of trying to go through them. Going through them each is what takes time.
Sure.
Just seeing what you guys thought and hitting the pieces we want to talk about.
For sure.
That sounds good to me.
It's too long because we got only three episodes to cover. Really.
Yeah. No. I think it's fine. And I can.
What have you been watching though, Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dana and I have been watching. We've watched the 3 available episodes of Witch Hat Atelier.
Yes, on my list.
Is-
Speaking of lists.
Really great. Dana just yelled she loves it. I don't know if you could hear her.
Oh, we heard.
Oh, okay. So that's awesome.
She should make a cameo.
Well, she's working on a Green Bay Packer puzzle, so she's very.
Ooh, I'm coming over.
Yeah, come and help with it because we're needed to be done.
Save me. I will.
I'm gonna come over and just sort of accidentally misplace a few pieces.
You demon.
You're not even a huge football fan.
I know, but I just want to give you a hard time about it.
Yeah,
Disruptor. Deceiver.
So that's really good. As I suspected it would be, very kind of like fantasy witch, kind of a slice of lifey. Yeah, I know it's obvious, fantasy witch. Yeah, but it's really good.
It was a little fun.
Yeah, on the nose. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. Animation and art is really, really excellent. It gives kind of free run vibes, but
Sure.
yeah, so that's really good. I did start watching Golden Kamuy.
Yay.
I forget his name. Sorry. Oh, terrible.
Jamal Williams.
We can't take him on this episode. That Jamal Williams had recommended. Off the top of my head. Really good. I actually thought it was more of a war anime, but it's not. I mean, this guy, one of the main characters is a former soldier in like the Russo-Japanese War in the late 1800s, early 1900s. But it's more of like a treasure hunt. Like it's like him and this young kind of native Japanese girl from Hokkaido.
Sure.
So it all takes place at least so far in Hokkaido, and they're like trying to find this gold, and it's really good. Actually, it's quite good. It really truly is apparently kind of like this like diamond in the rough that if you know about it, people are like, oh yeah, Golden Kamuy is amazing, but then not enough people watch it and not enough people know about it. So quite good. I don't know, a dozen episodes into that. And then
I gotta say, I like the numbering system. It's just straightforward. Started episode 1, we ended episode 62.
Yeah.
I've already got it in my queue, I see.
We were caught up on. We finished Free Run. Free Run's only 10 episodes this season. 10.
Really?
10.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So that's a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm only halfway through.
Yeah. Right. So
then apparently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Those are the main things. I've been Dorohedoro still, and Demons of the Shadow Realm, although I'm an episode behind on that. So yeah.
Sure.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a fair slew of things. Yeah. Ashley is watching through season 1 of Free Run yet and making pretty good progress. So nice. I'm just going to wait to watch season 2 with her. Sure. When she gets through 1.
Especially considering there's only 10 episodes. So
yeah.
No rush. Right. Savor it.
Sure. And then I've watched.
It's a really good season. It's just short.
Right. I've just watched the first 2 episodes of Dorohedoro season 2. That's basically all I've got. Really enjoyed them so far. I took your recommendation and didn't watch a recap before watching this, and we're confused. But then we watched a couple recaps, and we're like, we're still confused. Yeah. so I mean, it is definitely a show you just kind of go with it, and we'll figure out. We know the most important parts and kind of figuring it out as you go. And they're leaving a little bit like, oh wait, there is a little bit of feels like a gap. How did that happen exactly? So
sure.
But getting back into that, loving it. Watched a couple episodes of Dragon Ball Z as we slowly go through that. That's sort of our wind down show, which is kind of insane because there's some very like seizure-inducing strobe effects at times. Sure. It's like, oh my god, this is not the nighttime.
It's like show comfy and nostalgic, so I can see why it's like a wind down show.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Kind of, campy maybe a little bit.
And then, not too much else. A lot that I'd like to get to. What is Shadow? Demons of the Shadow Realm that's not blowing your socks off yet?
Oh no, I really liked it. I've only seen one episode. No, I really liked it. It was like not what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I think when I texted you guys, John, you're like, yeah, like, you know, there's. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to give any spoilers. Andrew, you haven't seen it, right? But
no,
it's like, yeah. I think if you go into it knowing nothing about it, you're going to be like, what?
Okay, I'll be interested how they pull it off, because certain manga, like so far, Hell's Paradise is not better than the manga.
Sure.
But like Don to Don, there's some of the impactful moments were more impactful in the anime than in the manga.
Sure.
So like for me, it's been an improvement watching it animated.
Fair.
So it just varies, and so it'll be interesting because Demons of the Shadow Realm didn't hold me with the manga. I think I read the first 3 volumes.
Okay.
I was like, well, this is interesting, but maybe I wasn't just ready for a shonen at the time or whatever, you know. So, but I'd be interested if maybe I jump on with the anime more. And it catches me.
Be curious what you think. It was really well done. Like, I think it's really well executed. I think what I will say about it without giving spoilers is like the genre I thought it was isn't probably the genre it actually is. If that makes any sense. Or the genre I assumed it would be is not how it's playing out so far.
Okay.
So
cool. Well, we'll hear more from you about that, because I'm interested in what genre did you think it was?
I assumed it'd be like fantasy, magical, like kind of fantasy.
Okay.
And,
yeah, I can see there being a kind of big surprise in there.
And I think that's intentional. So I really don't want to I especially don't want to spoil anything. People should check it out, because it's not a bad surprise, but it's just
Okay. Well, something that hopefully you've all checked out, because we're going to talk about it, is Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3. We've been going through these episodes sort of haphazardly in different quantities.
Yeah.
We didn't know how long the season was going to be here, and so we're just like, well, we got 3 episodes left now all of a sudden. When we left off, we were having the whole introduction to the lawyer guy and the trial that he gave for his power, his be giving Itadori at this trial. So that was pretty interesting.
That was cool.
This season, if I can say, like, we've essentially been trying to establish what the culling game is, what the rules are for it, and how do we end it. And we have a small band of people that have been working kind of to achieve various goals that they think is sort of the path forward to ending this. Now that we have, we're sort of separated from, we've separated ourselves from the school and the authorities there, because really they want Itadori dead. We had to set that up at the beginning, that fake his death again or whatever. And then Gojo is gone as well, so he would maybe be the one that knows a lot of things and sets plans in motion, but he's not available right now. So it's sort of like, hey, we're going to Tengen, the guy that's kind of kept the barriers going and whatever, and now this plan is hatched. And for me, anyways, from my part, I've thought that the progress through this plan has felt stagnated, or like that's not the right word, bumpy, inconsistent.
Sure.
Pacing just feels uneven, feels like we're not working towards a goal, even though we are. I think because of like maybe having to take big like pauses to do battle or whatever. It's weird to me what this issue is with some modern anime now, where the pacing feels off and it's losing direction. So that's where coming into these final 3 episodes, that's kind of where I've stood on the season thus far. guys kind of agree with that, or is there
Yes. As you were talking, I was thinking about the show kind of overall, and there are elements of the plot moving forward that I like, but I think it feels like the show itself, not the characters, the show itself can't decide what the season's main goal was and the main goal of the characters overall and which one takes importance. Is it freeing Gojo, or is it like winning the culling game or bending it to their, to favor them? And so it didn't feel like everybody was working coherently towards one goal. It felt a little too splintered, and it didn't feel necessarily like character choices. It felt like the writers maybe couldn't agree, so they put it off a little bit to decide. So I didn't quite love that, because I felt like, in this last episode we had Yuta talking, or not this one, maybe the at the end of the prior one, talking about how he's like, I don't need you, Gojo. You can't kill your best friend again. I'm going to do it. But it still just sort of felt like this random insertion of, like maybe this is over here now, where everybody else was sort of working to use the culling game to free Gojo. So I don't know. I felt like that large overarching purpose was missing, but that didn't mean I didn't like a lot of elements in these last couple of episodes, especially.
Sure. I see what you guys are saying. I've overall enjoyed it. I kind of have just been following it from just a very broad, a very general plot of the main kind of Yuta, Megumi, and
Yuji,
thank you, are basically have this plan, and the way I read their plan is they're just trying to stop the culling game, not necessarily win it or use it for their own purposes. They're trying to end it, and I think obviously they want to free Gojo, but I don't know that the culling game is I guess they have a plan with that one chick to the kind of backdoor into the, but I don't know that necessarily has to happen through the culling game. They want those two to help them win it or twist it to their purposes. Yet, like you were saying, but it's I think they want to get enough points so they could change rules so they can just stop it.
But see, I feel like even the way that you were describing that, it feels a little more complex than it has to be. I do, sure. You know what I mean? I do get the main purposes and stuff. It just feels like a little, it's a little muddier than it needs to be, where I would appreciate more obstacles in the way or things happening versus I think this is what they're doing.
Sure. Yeah.
I would feel more comfortable being I know what they're doing, but I don't know maybe how they're going to get there.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think it's hard because it's every couple episodes it switches to a new character, and they're all mostly in these different places, in these different, what do you call it, with the big black...
the districts.
Oh, colonies.
Districts, thank you. Colonies. That's
Colony?
the one.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all in these different colonies. They're kind of divide and conquer, and they're the three strongest of their age group. So,
right.
So it's hard because it trips back and forth, and they can't really communicate with each other. So it's
right, which is why I liked the 4 new rules that they kept being okay, remember these 4 new rules that we want to put in place.
Right.
And one of them was communication. I was yes, this short-term goal seems very clear to me. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I overall have enjoyed it. I don't understand. I don't really understand why they needed to split the culling game arc into 2 mini arcs and then not have them even remotely near each other in terms of time. They're going to wait another. The second half of the culling game arc isn't going to come out until 2027. Is that really necessary? Maybe. They put out a boatload of last season. It was a long season. It's so popular, and same with Free Run. I don't know. It's why is it 10 episodes? These are insanely popular IPs. So
yep. Yeah, I don't want to convey that, like, I didn't enjoy, especially these last batches of episodes. I did. I just, in a sense of like critiquing things that I think could be stronger. It's definitely like, let's have a strong through line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's like, the Culling game here is obviously like a Hunger Games type situation, which was like, what's the other one that's kind of based on that? There's an anime or manga that's really like, it's that survival of the fittest type of thing. And it's,
Tojima.
Huh?
Totally.
Just bringing the levity.
Yeah.
No,
no, I get it.
Where it gives you this bigger picture, you sort of know the players and it's who you're going to be looking out for. And it's something with like, they're throwing in, and I guess it makes sense. It'd be cool that you would not know who's going to be there or something. But I feel like every few episodes it'd be like, oh, here's these new people we've never heard of. Here's these new people we've never heard of. You're not building towards a conflict with someone. Like, ooh, these are your threats in here you're going to have to deal with. And we kind of see what they're doing and whatever. It's just like our characters just stumble upon them. Here's these new characters with new powers we don't know and whatever. It just, I don't know. It's just organized, and it's not satisfying. Except I will say, I think that these last couple episodes pulled in for a strong ending. I think the season opened strong, the first episode, and then it closed strong.
Yeah,
I felt like Yuta had the. Sorry, I was just gonna say, I felt like Yuta had the best like handle on his situation. He felt the most in control of like, okay, I already got like the sorcerers who are in here. I know what I need to do to take them down. Like, I'm leading a group of people to safety. Like, he already felt like master of the domain. Obviously to pun a little bit on Jujutsu Kaisen, but. Yeah, I just felt like he was the most organized and the clearest about like everything that was happening. He had the best handle on the situation, which is probably why his arc, or his mini arc was last.
Sure.
Sorry, Phil.
But no, I was just going to say, I think that makes sense, the disorganizational feel. I mean, and you have these people who are like, we know that are the ultimate kind of big bad, like at least for the next couple seasons, like Kenjaku, who was hardly in the season at all. I mean, they talked about it a few times, and then like Sukuna wasn't in it at all, and he's like the ultimate like big bad. I mean, and so Gojo wasn't in it at all, but I mean, he's trapped, so that kind of makes sense. But then even like they recruited that one guy and his girlfriend, but then they, he hasn't actually had any sort of a fight in this season, so it's like he'll undoubtedly be in the next half of the arc, but that's a long ways away. So they're introducing him now. We won't actually even see him really fight. I mean, he fought a little bit with Yuji, but that was more like Yuji proving himself that to like recruit him. I mean, it wasn't a real fight. So it's like, okay. I mean, I liked it too, and I thought it ended strong as well. I don't know why we need to like stretch these out so far.
Yeah, just do the thing.
Yeah, just give us a full season. Doesn't even have to be 26 episodes, but even like, what was this, 12 or 13 episodes? Give us 20 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, especially about like allies, and stuff that gets more set up. Arc had a setup, whereas the comedian sorcerer.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
Takaba, I think.
I'm not sure.
Something like that.
Right-ish.
I mean, he was just sort of like a random, chance. He was very like his brief stint was funny because it felt complete. It felt like he might pop up later, but that encounter felt complete. He was like, "Cool, I like did a thing for you, helped you out, young man.
Yeah, right.
Got you the points.
Right.
Peace. Like I might see you." So those shorter encounters felt more planful, whereas like what you're talking about, Phil, I totally get. That was a long setup. We did a whole cool thing at basically Fight Club, and then gone somewhere, something saved for later, like, put it in your cart and save it for later. Yeah.
I think, I mean, I think this is just kind of coming clear as we talk about it, but I think it's like the problem I have with it, and again, I love Jujutsu Kaisen. It's one of my favorite anime, and I obviously always gonna watch it, and even when it's like confusing or not fully what I was expecting or hoping for, I still love it. But it's like it's such a big anime, such a big story with so many characters, and then when they only do these like half arc seasons, it's just too much. It's like there's not enough time to effectively tell the story, all these different storylines. There's so many storylines. So but
a lot of them, they're not even storylines. They're just so guy with the receipts. He shows up. We have a big fight with him, and then he's done.
Yeah,
like we didn't care about him. We were we can only come to care about him for a little bit. Over the course of that battle, basically, that's all we have.
Sure,
it's like think of he's fun. No, absolutely, he is fun. There's lots of fun things. There's fun bad guys in the last couple episodes too.
Sure,
but like, why don't we have some of these characters and they can stick around? We can care about them.
Sure,
it's you look at Chainsaw Man. We know who some of the bad guys are. There's Sword Face guy and the girl with him and whatever. Like these are our nemesis that we're going to be going against. Hunter when they're like in a thing, that's like a competition, who's going to take out who in the wilderness. We're introduced to the characters that are players and who we have to contend with, and then we get to see them on the battlefield at different times, them doing their own thing, and we get to like start caring about them, see who they help, who they don't, all this sort of thing. These people just feel random, and it makes the fights feel hollow.
It's almost like somebody in the writer's room was like, I have a cool idea. You're like, well, it doesn't really fit in our plot. And they're like, but please, I really want to do this thing.
He wears receipts.
Right.
You have to put him in.
Right. And it's so cool. It is. I love his power. It's one of the nice ones because it feels very self-explanatory. You don't need one of your like mini monologues to talk about the power.
True.
You get it.
Although I think they
right
gave
away.
one at some point.
They did, but I appreciate it as a viewer at first. I was like, I don't need it.
Right. Yeah.
But yes, it is like a kill your darling situation in that you don't have time for everything. And you sometimes as a creator have to axe really cool ideas. JJK maybe needs to like get a little tougher about axing some cool ideas.
Or have longer seasons.
Exact. Or have longer seasons, or, if you're going to have a cool idea, then you have to figure out a way to make it stick for, 4 or 5 episodes at least.
Or throw another movie in there.
Well, I mean, longer seasons is like, or another movie is easy to say, but it's not like they're just for fun saying, you get 10 episodes, that's it. And
probably
then
just trying to make
wait
more money.
2 years.
They're like, you didn't have to keep Crunchyroll for 2 more years.
I think that,
conspiracy.
Some of these things, it's possible mismanagement. It's also possible that some of these things are not making as much money as you might imagine they would. Different companies, that's sort of the thing was like with Chainsaw Man, the company they wanted to control the whole thing. So, because they saw the success with something like Jujutsu Kaisen, and then they only get a piece of the pie, because they make it, so you don't get all the rights, the merchandising, everything, and then you just sell it to streaming rights to other countries or whatever. And again, those aren't sales. That's just, it's the problem the whole industry is running into right now, is you're not relying on strictly sales of your video entertainment product, because most people aren't buying them that way on DVDs or whatever, or even digital copies. It's just that's not what's happening.
Right.
So, they might not be making hand over fist as much as someone is making some money on, like I said, on merchandising and all that sort of thing. But is that money going to them that they can hire up to have more animators to like make this, happen faster?
Got to change the system.
The system's going to change because AI is going to just dismantle it all.
Not in that way. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying it's going to have to.
Sure.
There is an example I sent to Dustin recently because I'm watching the Darth Maul show, and you could see something was going on with it, but they had there's like brush strokes that you can see in some of the visuals, like in Maul's face or in the backgrounds or whatever. And then they released this video saying like they actually painted on glass and like added hand done elements to it, versus you could just make that look in a computer. They didn't. And I was telling Dustin, like, this is what you're going to have to do to AI to distinguish yourself, to let people know, like, hey, we did this thing by hand. What you're seeing is, kind of thing, and hope that people take that up and want to still pay for that.
Sure.
But, I mean, I feel like they've already been doing some things like that. I mean, CGI has been, it's obviously not the same thing as AI, but it's a technology that, the industry's been competing with to say, like,
sure,
here's our real life stunt or whatever. And you can tell the difference. You just can, even with how good CGI has gotten, you can still tell the difference, I think, as a viewer. And, sometimes they'll put in cues that aren't perfect to like doubly reinforce, like, we did the thing. Marvel at the coolness of us doing the physical thing. And we do.
Sure. Yep. I definitely want to talk about the last 2 episodes yet, because I do think that for all my I do think that one, Yuta's a badass. So
for sure.
It was a very cool setup. I liked it a lot. Like, he's got this zone on lock. He understands the power players that are here sort of at a standstill, waiting for someone to make a move.
Yep.
I just liked that sort of idea. Like, everybody, all the nobodies and the low level people, they've been wiped out. We're done with it at this point. And so for that flip to switch to flip, and all of a sudden for them to all go at it and see what happens here and how that's going to play out, I thought was really cool. Both was Yuta showed remarkable ability, but also, like, at times you're like, ooh, it's not looking good for him. He gets surprised by different people's abilities. They spend a lot of time explaining people's abilities, which would have really slowed the pace. It was a lot of like, oh, bug guy. Okay, he cuts you and you grow bugs and stuff. Gross, yuck. Guy with a laser beam out of his hair. Perfect. And then a person that can manipulate the air. Like, we don't really need to know the details of how that works. We can just see that would be a very challenging power to contend with.
Yep.
I thought they were fun players. It really moved along quickly. Yuta was awesome. It looked good. They didn't go.
Rika was awesome.
Yes. Yes. It didn't go too crazy. I could always tell what was happening. I had a good spatial kind of sense of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
That certainly was an improvement over some of the fights in season 2. Like, I think there were a couple I know that we all were like, it's hard to even see what's happening. There's just so much going on. But these are good.
Yep. And then the big thing of, like, Yuta's power, copy.
Yeah.
Copy. That was fun.
That's sort of huge. So that begs the question: has he copied any of Gojo's abilities? He's his mentor. Would he not allow him the opportunity?
But he has. Why wouldn't he use them?
But I felt like they were very intentional with Space Dandy, saying that very certain conditions have to be met for him to use it, and they did a cool, like, replay of the thing where, Rika was eating the girl's arm to absorb her, you know what I mean? So we'd already seen it, and then the guy was like, oh, that's when that condition was met. Bam. So we could have, like, a flashback, but also I feel like they're leaving themselves some wiggle room to be like, we do have some things where, he can't just, like, see Gojo and be like, cool, I got it.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
So maybe, but also I would find that, especially him copying Gojo's, to be a little strain on credulity, and also why wouldn't he have said it before?
Right.
Yeah.
But they do say he's, or maybe Gojo says at some point, but they say that Yuta's the only one who might rival him in terms of power and ability and stuff. But
no, I mean, yes, but then they dropped like comedian. So I wrote down his name, Takaba. They were like, if he could ever figure out his power, he could rival Gojo. And I was like, what?
Me too. I know. Yeah. Because what's his power?
That was a great dialogue. I had so much trouble with some of the dialogue in these last 3 episodes, which I feel like just needs to be cut in half. It's not that they don't need some of this dialogue. They just need to like condense. Anyway, that was a perfect piece of dialogue.
Yeah.
I was totally, as a viewer, shocked and just sort of like, what? And they were like, no, we're going to move on now.
Yeah.
Crazy town.
Yep. Yeah, I hope he comes back. I feel there's all like these characters that over the years I've like, I'm still waiting for his besto friendo to come back.
Yes.
But, at some point I'm sure they're gonna have to bring him back. But
yeah. See, but what's his name? Is it Toei or Tomo or what? The guy that has the cursed speech user?
Oh yeah, that guy too.
Because
Toge,
Yuta.
Yeah.
Was it?
I think.
Toge? Yeah, maybe.
I think.
Yeah. Yuta had his ability. Copied that. Like, did he?
Right.
When did Yuta know that he could copy? Because obviously Yuta had a fight, kind of, if I recall, in the movie with Toge, if that's his name. Like, did it happen all the way back then? Was he aware of this? We kept it his full power or the secret since then.
Right.
I'm guessing
that's why we're gonna have to learn more about his conditions. Like, is it, can it ever be done unconsciously, or does it have to be, does it have to be during a fight?
I think those conditions should be posted on the screen in small text and then sort of shift around a lot.
Totally.
Yeah.
You have to follow it like a laser.
Game, like the culling game.
Like we're cats with a laser and we're just...
Right. Yeah. I suspect he's known about it a while, and I'm guessing, Gojo kind of was his mentor, and I'm sure Gojo was like, don't tell anybody about this, because the best part about this power is that if people don't know about it, you can just take people by surprise all the time. And so I'm sure he isn't announcing this to people unless it's like, this is my, I think he told these other sorcerers because he knew he was going to kill him, or beat him, but probably isn't in the habit of telling people.
That's part of the thing. He let him go.
Oh yeah, but he knew he could take him again if he needed to. Like, he's not worried about them beating him.
Yeah, but that's what happens and then they sneak up behind you and they're done. Like, it's.
I mean, maybe, but
not going down like that.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with Phil on that one. Yeah, it would be interesting to learn what his conditions are. Like I said, if it's that you have to be fighting with them or like be in a fight, and he just never gets in a fight with Gojo. You know what I mean? Gojo's like, we're just never going to fight, and then they never have to do that, like, power face off.
Training. What about training? Is that fighting? Sparring?
No.
Yeah.
The power senses your intent.
But like, why would Gojo, want to do it that way? I feel like there's so many other ways.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
To do training. It's not like Gojo fought like Yuji every day to train him as a sword. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. So long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It feels like a totally different show.
It does.
I do miss some of that. I do like the, I was talking about a group storyline. I'm with individuals all the time. It's just like there's a group that can move a story forward, and it's hard to remember everybody when you have to check in individually.
Yeah, right. And then that's when they have like these seasons where it's like, well, we saw 40% of the overall characters one time in 14 episodes or whatever. Like, okay,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it feels like last season was so Gojo and Geto heavy that, this season they're like, all right, like, Gojo's in a box. It's okay. Like, we can go back over here and just set him aside.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so let's see. To sum up, feels like more episodes, not enough episodes.
Correct.
And Andrea, you're saying dialogue issues.
So yeah, pare down your dialogue and give me a solid singular through line. One big goal. I don't care if we have 60 million steps on the way to get there, as long as I don't have to read them on a screen. But give me one clear goal for your storyline.
Okay. Mine would be, let's, in each episode, move between our groups of characters to see them witnessing, achieving their goals.
Yes.
So we don't need a whole episode of Maki taking down everybody, even though that episode was cool. We don't need a whole episode of, fighting Receipt Man. We can go between we can do a little juggling between different things. So we feel like there's progress being made and a current thing towards our goals. And then going forward, let's introduce villains that we can maybe even follow some. Maybe there's a group of them that kind of team up or something that we can get to know and know there are threat that we're going to have to be facing at some point. So we have but what we got till, what did you say, Phil?
I heard 2027. You look again.
Okay.
I mean, a season a year, right?
Half a season a year.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, half an arc a year. I mean, I just think if an arc ostensibly is approximately one normal season's worth of an anime, why not just do that arc in that season time frame? Just do that. Like the Culling Game arc seems like it would be about the size of a normal, like full-sized anime season. So why break it up?
Well, because you'll have to wait longer for the season to release then, to begin with. So you want to wait twice as long for the full season. So do you want a season, half a season a year, or do you want a full season every 2 years?
I want Mappa to hire like 40 more animators. Because many of the shows I love are animated and made by them.
Yes, true.
Also, if there's any anime executives watching this podcast right now, season 2 of Unwanted Undead Adventurer. And I were just talking about that last night. We're like, when is season 2 going to come out? They announced that they're going to be a season 2 in December of 2024. Oof. So get on it.
Ouch.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
One last thing I want to say about JJK.
Yeah.
Megami has a sister. I finally figured out who this person he is. He's been like, I don't want her in the game. We have to keep her out of the game. And I was like, but damn, like a sister. And she angel carries him like a weird human helipad.
God. Completely forgot about this moment. Yes, this is
I know. It was so random. But I was just like, okay, thank you. I appreciate the answer to my, burning question throughout the season of why are we saying this person can't be in the Culling Game? I know who it is, at least. I still don't know why she shouldn't be in the Culling Game. But
yeah, we definitely need another character.
Yes.
We need more of them.
For sure.
Don't have enough.
But if you're gonna name drop a person, thank you for at least showing me them.
Yes.
Yeah. Looks like January of 2027. So it's coming January. So
I saw that.
But I mean, I don't know. I think we've seen shows effectively do things like big blockbuster shows like Kaiju number 8 and Dan Dan Dan, where they do, a half of a season arc in January. It ends in April, and then they start up again with the second half in July. Why can't we do that? That's what JJK did last year, or whatever they did. They did the hidden inventory arc, the kind of the prequel arc, and then they I think took a little break, and when they went right into the second half. So it's like I don't know why we have to.
And then it got a lot of flack for being unfinished.
You're right. All right, fair enough.
Yeah. No.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
No.
I have a possible rumor about October 2026 for your unwanted undead adventurer.
Really? Send that to me, please.
Yeah, sure.
No. I'm gonna just double check your Googling. I'm kidding. I trust you, but I would like to see it.
Someone on Reddit said so it's clearly happening.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like that's why I said it's a rumor.
Because... Oh, it's a rumor. Okay. All right. Hey, no, I'll take a rumor. But you guys, if you're ever looking for something, just kind of like you could binge in like a couple days, and you have like some time on your hands, which I know you both with toddlers have so much time on your hands. But
I do.
It's like 12 episodes. It's a pretty short season, but it's so good. We loved it. Loved it.
I did watch the first episode, and I don't know why I didn't return to it because I remember liking it. I don't know if it just got lost in a shuffle or whatever, but I'll get back. I'll get back there.
Yeah. Also, The Witch and the Beast. I don't think we ever. You guys, do you ever watch that? The Witch and the Beast.
Doesn't sound familiar.
I talked about it on the podcast, so thanks a lot, guys, for listening to my.
Well, yeah, I know the name, but I don't think I've ever.
I talk about a lot of shows. Also super good.
You're sure it's called The Witch and the Beast?
I think so. Let me Google it.
Okay. I just remember manga that I read called The Witch and the Bull. So I just making sure it's not the same thing. Oh, here it is. Okay, I see it.
Dana liked The Witch and the Bull.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Did she know that Let's Play is an anime?
Yes. But I found it so repetitive of the manga, I couldn't watch it. It was
bummer. Okay. I haven't watched it yet. So maybe I won't.
Like panel for panel, the same as the manga.
Oh, that's not as fun. Okay, well, decisions. Maybe I won't watch it.
Okay, so let's see.
Thanks, girl.
I got you.
Yeah, Dana's too busy puzzling. She should be on the show.
She's puzzling.
Instead.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that should be about it for us. So we got our comments all wrapped up from Jujutsu Kaisen. It'll be a while before we are able to talk about it again, it looks like.
Yeah.
But no worries, because we got a lot of stuff. Way too much stuff, honestly, to consume and talk about. So I'm hoping to get going on Hell's Paradise again.
Yeah.
I think everybody wanting to get to that one. I know Ashley has.
Or should we just finish Tojima?
Oh, yeah, Tojima. Yeah, we do need to finish both, actually.
How does it left to Tojima?
I think there's a fair few, actually.
I think there's like 6.
Because they know how to do it. They're doing a full season.
Okay.
Oh,
let's see.
We can...
24 episodes, my good peoples.
Yeah. So 6 more.
6 more. Okay.
The last episode's called I Wouldn't Mind Dying Today.
Well,
it's
intense.
Okay.
Before it is, let's do this, shocker.
Do we all right, so we have agreement. We want to get that one out of the way. Want to finish that one up.
Tojima?
I
think we're farther along in Tojima than we are in Hell's Paradise. So, although I think there'll be less episodes of Hell's Paradise, so it's probably a horse piece.
Yeah.
Okay. So focus.
I totally get it, though. I'm sorry to thwart Ashley's viewing pleasure, because I love Hell's Paradise. I've crept a couple episodes ahead of where we were because it was so good. It's okay. I'll just rewatch them. But yeah, I feel like wrapping up Tojima so it's not just hanging out there would be a good idea.
Yep. All right, we'll get to Tojima, conclude that in a couple weeks here, and then in a couple weeks from that, we can get to Hell's Paradise, and then by that time, we'll be very far behind on Demons of the Shadow Realm and Dorohei Dodo and a Frieren.
And Witch Hat.
And then there'll probably be Ghost in the Shell. That will be out. It's a new one by that point.
Witch Hat Atelier.
Yep. We'll have to we're going to have, just with the way these things, because there's probably not going to be downtime at this point. It just seems like there's not really downtime. Yeah. So we'll have to do some things where if someone else isn't watching, whatever, we can do a little just do your own little mini review, and that's fine. Then they don't all get discussed, or we just discuss them when the whole thing's done sometime after we've all seen them. That's fine too. So, yep. We can't get to it all. It's fine. We got our regular podcast probably next week, Podcast on the Rocks. So we'll have something there. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it'll be exactly, but we are going through the Alien movies. I've watched Alien 3, so that's always a possibility.
Yep, I'm halfway through.
Okay, nice.
Just, I mean, as a precautionary measure, I was also planning on watching the next Daredevil as well.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I put Alien notes in the notes, not because we must do this. I just need to put notes somewhere, and then if it doesn't work out, I'll move
same for later.
Else. Yeah, so that's what you can expect there. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe in all the places. It's Podcast on the Rocks on everything except for YouTube. If you want just this show, Ohio Anime, on YouTube, you can find it. Ohio Anime, only anime content. Everywhere else, Podcast on the Rocks, you're going to get things from both. So whether that's on Twitch or Rumble or X or your favorite podcast directory, that kind of thing, take your pick. So Killing the Flower, they wrote a theme song for the main show for Podcast on the Rocks, so you should check them out. Mike Bryant, he is it's Mike Bryant Racing now. So I'm looking at it on YouTube, and it's at Mike Bryant 94. And he is headed, I believe, to South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, this weekend for a race. So he is it's his first big race of the season. Nice. Reworked his car a bunch. So cool.
And this is the last shout out you get, Mike, until you come back on the podcast. You got to earn it.
Yeah, there needs to be another.
Not actually in my control at all, but
another racing anime to discuss, I guess.
Well, yeah, but he came on for a bunch of different things. He came on for past Jujutsu episodes in last season.
Yep,
a bunch of Demon Slayer stuff.
It's true. It's true. Yep.
I just want him back. I just miss him. I just miss you, Mike. If that's all it is.
Yeah, I need to change. Pretty soon our banner on some of the stuff or whatever, because it's got a whole group of people, and yeah.
You just need me and Andrea up there.
MIA.
With our smiley anime personas.
Yep. So, okay, well, that'll do it from us. Thank you guys for being here, making this happen quick. Normally not a Thursday, but it's appreciated. So, and for Dana making a surprise, every once in a while, hey,
nebulous voice.
Yes.
In the background.
Yes, she's doing a little tease. Mm-hmm. We got to earn her full appearance too, apparently.
All right, perfect. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.